You're such an asshole.
Good morning, children. Hey, you guys like that? The intro, huh? Old Boomer Tech Cappy went last night. Like, I'm not tired. It felt like college. Felt like I was young again. And I'm like, I can fit this in. I figured it out. Put together that video. I even downloaded new video editing software for that. All right, we're not here to talk about my amazing technology abilities. We have a pretty interesting request from a regular. I'll keep him anonymous, though. But he sends in not softball pieces. Hi, Aaron. Recently, I was viewing your videos on YouTube of social justice warriors looting businesses, burning property, and beating up the elderly. Reporters on the scene attempted to interview the SJWs about their beliefs and actions during the riot. The belief of SJWs, as near as I could tell from the somewhat befuddled answers provided by SJWs when they were interviewed, you assume they've thought their moral programming out, like that. You thought they've thought their morals and ethics out, and have connected that to actions. And to paraphrase Patricia Robert Miller's book, Demagoguery and Democracy, appears to be as follows. 1, SJWs polarize politics into SJWs as good and other groups, that is, everybody else, as bad, some of whom are deliberately evil and the rest are dupes. SJWs reduce the world to those who are with them and those who are against them. SJWs do not argue policies in terms of need, feasibility, and solvency, but instead argue identity. Yeah. I won't even say identity as much as they want to believe what they want to believe. I think SJWs are addicted to what I call the last and final luxury good of the American economic frontier, and that is living a lie. They want that state, not government state. I mean that state, that existence in life beyond self-actualization. They want delusion. A policy advocated by SJW is good, and the same policy advocated by another group is bad. Identity matters. Oh, I see. I don't know if they go that far. See, the problem that you're doing here is you're chartering them and crediting them with intelligence. Or I think it's just pure emotion and rage. And in many of their cases of their instances, psychopathy, mental illness. I don't think they're anchored to the world at all. And sometimes I don't think they're cognizant enough to say, well, it's with us. I think it's just basic caveman, Neanderthal tribalism. That's all that is. You'd be better analyzing them through the lens of a National Geographic special, studying monkeys or animals, than you would, philosophical and politics and political economy. Like, no, they're not going much above a monkey level brain. I mean, they might have a degree, but that doesn't mean anything nowadays. If anything, it means it's worth. Let's go, you stub or something, your degree means it's pretty worthless. SJWs view the current situation as so dire that SJWs are justified in any actions, especially violence. Values such as fairness that is holding both SJWs and other groups to the same standards are unnecessary and demonstrate a lack of compassionate commitment to the urgency of the cause. This is referred to as punching up, or the ends justify the means. I mean, let's not also forget, this is probably a very key explanation here, and I'll delve into it probably again, come back to this. Never discount laziness. Okay, laziness is tied for first in terms of strong biological drives, sex being the other one. That's for men. For women, I don't think sex is that much of a biological drive. But laziness is a universal among all of it. We all have, depends on how we handle laziness. Some people say, boy, I'm lazy. I'm going to work really, really hard now because that's going to save me more time. Those are the smart people. The other people are like, I know I'll be really crafty and major in easy subjects to get easy jobs. And then I'll be one of the lucky ones to get $120,000 as a government position. Like, that doesn't work out that way. But everyone is lazy. And depending on how smart you are, you either succumb to laziness or you tackle it because you hate something. You approach it a smart way. SJWs are eternally lazy, and to come up with a consistent life ideology, be it political or economic, just a moral compass, an ethical code that does not harm society yet supports you, that takes a lot of thought and effort. A lot of people will immediately go to defend their positions instead of looking at empirical data and saying, oh, I thought X, empirical data presents Y. I need to rethink my position on X. Most people will go and find probably biased and corrupted data, because you can find it now. Social sciences have come up with any kind of study that shows you whatever you want. It's a completely debunked field. They'll go out and try and defend their position because they want to spend the energy and time rethinking and rebuilding it. I put a lot of calories of energy into coming up with economics and politics, right? Not to mention ethics and morality. Like, okay, how do we treat everybody fairly? And what's my role in this world? Not only what's my role in a world that I would like or I would advocate, what I would vote for because we're in democracy, but the world we live in now, what actions do I take? What are the incentives? That consumes an inordinate amount of energy and resources, a ton of investment. SJW, people got more. Give me money. I don't know if you remember I think it was the guy in Milwaukee interviewing him. He's like, all the white people in the suburbs got the money. Wow. Okay, Socrates, you really thought that one out. Other people got more shit than me. Don't ask how you got there. Don't ask if your mom have a responsibility for bearing you into a world with a bunch of half siblings. Don't ask why or what can I do in my power and on my control instead of like waiting for government to come around, some other people. Like, what can I do within my agency so that I can become one of the, not rich people, but, better off people? How do I get to the burbs? Or maybe I just want to stay in the city. I want to live in a nice condo, wherever. How do I improve my life? Nope. Other people got money. Give me money. Elon Musk, and that's all Marxism is. He tweeted out a picture of Marx of his quote. Give me that. That was it. That Elon, all I found out that people on the left, this is all they Marx, give me what you got, or whatever it was. And it's that simple. It's so cheap. It's so hypocritical. It's so weak. Other people have what I want. And I should take, now, at least in the olden days, okay, other people got what you want. Well, then you had to be a Viking. You had to be a Roman. You had to be a Persian. You had to be everybody everywhere. You had to be an Arab, or not an Arab, a Muslim taking over the Iberian Peninsula. This is called history, boys and girls. You can look it up. It doesn't matter. One group of people wanted what the other people had. And what you had to do is you had to go fight for it. There'd be hundreds, maybe even billions of people's blood has been spilled, men, trying to get what other people had. So at least back in the olden days, in the warlord days, like, wow, we want their fields of grain. Well, we're going to pay a price for it. Now it's just, we should have because reasons. And then everybody wonders why the perennially lazy are always poor. Unless you're born into a trust fund like Mark Dayton or Nancy Pelosi or George Bush. Those are the lucky ones. But that misleads the young, stupid, dumb masses. If Barack Obama can make it, so can I. No, Barack Obama had a rich grandmother, white, by the way, because his mom was a whore running around, not raising Barack. I do feel a little bit of sadness for the man. He did all right, president. He got a happy family. I know you all think that's one thing I liked about Barack Obama. He's got a good nuclear family. I look at that. And Michelle, I know you guys all think she's a man. I know it's of all the political economic analysis, you guys can't believe that I think Michelle Obama is a very feminine looking woman who wears nice dresses. And just like, come on, the gal's what, pushing 60? Don't care. I'm not. That's fine. You give me anyway. Where was it? Where was I talking about that? Oh, so they're justified in their actions. The ends justify the means. They just don't want to work. They don't want to work. And as you see in Venezuela or any other time communist takeover, they think like in the rich people world, the money just grows on trees. Like, like home ownership's a perfect example. Like, oh, they got this nice house. I've like, okay, go ahead, take over the night. Fine, do land redistribution. Everybody gets their little house. You go ahead, take somebody's house over in Edina. That house would fall into disrepair because you have to maintain and repair a house, any house. And you can see this in government housing. It goes into dilapidated crap. Why? Because these people don't, it's just like winning the lottery. Poor people win the lot. Usually you're poor because you're lazy. There's other reasons outside your control. Maybe you're poor, bad luck. I get that. But usually you're poor because you're lazy, at least in the United States. They'll win the lottery and it's gone. Right? Because they don't know about delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. They don't know about budgeting. They don't know about finiteness. They think they can, and usually they're back. You could give all the complaining black community, all the leftist blacks, all their it will be gone. Not even in a generation. I bet you it'd be gone in 10 years. There'll be inflation. Asset prices and rents are going to go up. Housing prices going to go up. You could certainly, same thing with the millennials. They want to be bailed out of their worthless degrees. You think someone's stupid enough to get a degree in sociology or English? You could give that person, you could bail them out. Hey, here's your $50,000. They're dumb. Maybe not even dumb. They're lazy. That's the key thing. They're lazy. And that's very obvious. A lot of smart people are lazy. You got a lot of academians. Was it Island 120 IQ or whatever? A lot of people are smart, but they're ultimately lazy. So you can have a super high intelligence, high capacity to achieve a lot in life. But if you're lazy, it's all thrown down the drain. I don't know how many people I didn't try in school. Well, okay. I don't care if your IQ is 145. You screwed up until you're done being lazy. Anyway, point is, you could go ahead, give these SJWs what they want. Because they are the epitome of lazy. I ought to have other things because I want. You could give them the reins of not only control, but ownership of all the means of production. They'll destroy it. Not even because destroying takes effort. They'll let it fall into disrepair and they won't produce anything. And then will be Venezuela or Zimbabwe or whichever socialist country you want to go point out at. So yeah, their actions are justified. Why? Because they were too lazy to sit and think about morality, ethics, let alone functionality and feasibility. We should kill all the people who are really productive and take their shit. Have you thought about that? Have you thought that? No, because it takes too much to think 2 steps ahead. You know, think of a chess game. If you play against an SJW in a chess game, if you could just think 2 steps ahead, you're going to beat them because they're too lazy to think, well, what if he moves there and then I move there? Whoa, 2 steps ahead. Hang on now. Strategic planning, consequences. So I just want to put that in there. Laziness governs everything. It determines everything with an SJW. And that includes their ideology and their morals and their ethics. To think about other people, like maybe that doctor worked really hard to go to medical school and get to where he or she is in life. Maybe if we take all their crap, they'll leave, and now we're going to be down 1 heart surgeon, and those are pretty hard to come by. That they don't even get to that level. It's that rat bastard has more than me. How dare him? 5, SJWs consider the truth easy to perceive and convey, so that complexity, nuance, uncertainty, and deliberation are actually cowardice, dithering, and deliberate moves by other groups to prevent actions by SJWs. Truth is easy to perceive and convey. They're right there because if you don't want to hear it and it sucks and it's painful, that's the truth. Lies are great. Lies are wonderful. But I think the SJWs consider their own truths, you know, my own truth, whatever idiot, whatever lowbrow dolt came up with that, a hypocrite just to serve their again, after self-actualization. Maybe I should redraw Maslow's hierarchy of needs and put lies above self-actualization. Maybe I should do that. I've contributed enough to the social sciences, don't you think, even though it was a hobby? SJWs consider the truth easy to perceive and convey. So that complexity, nuance, uncertainty, deliberation, let alone the complexity of the real world. And how complex? Think of other people. Golden rule. How hard is that? Actually, cowardice, dithering, or deliberate moves by other groups to prevent actions by SJWs. I don't think they even go that far. It's somebody's in the way of me never having to work for a living. Somebody's in the way of my free gimme that's. That's what it is. And forget truth. We introduce logic, ethics. Like, well, why should you be entitled to UBI when you've never worked a day in your life? Out come the name calling, I guess, the isms and the ists. Or you're ignorant. You stupid. You stupid. Oh, yeah. Because when someone says, you're stupid, that means I'm the dumb one. Why am I stupid? Whoa, too much energy and thought to come out of that. Why? You want me to explain why you're stupid? SJW 6. SJW reasoning relies heavily on fallacy, projection, appeal to inconsistent premises, and argument from personal conviction. Again, I think here you're analyzing, or the author gal is analyzing it way too deeply. You're diagnosing it in way too much detail. SJW's reasoning relies heavily on fallacy, projection, appeal to inconsistent premises. They don't say, I'm going to, like your SJW doesn't wake up saying, I'm going to rely heavily on fallacy, projection, and inconsistent premises. It's just their lazy nature that does that. I mean, okay, look, SJWs are like the little 3-year-old kid. Kid's brain still doesn't understand ownership. And the kid, you know, maybe you and I did this when we were little kids. Oh, we're at the store. I want that. I give it. You just grab it. You don't know that that's not yours. That's the Walmart corporations. It's the shareholders corporations that owns that fun toy you wanted, Transformer or whatever. And that you need to pay the shareholders of that company. So they might pay their labor, their suppliers, their vendors and all that, electricity and all that. You don't have that concept. No, I want. That's the level SJWs operate at. Now, I know after a while, their brain deep down inside, they know they're being hypocritical. I don't doubt that for a second. They know they're doing it, which makes me hate them even more. But I don't think they've exercised their philosophical brain enough to say, you know what, this is a fallacy. This is a wrong premise. I'm operating from inconsistent premises, or I'm projection. I don't think they even get all they know, like a little 3-year-old, is I want, and they either got a little bit older of a brain to say, now I'm going to give excuses as to why. The veritable children that, well, not all of them, but they caught one gal looting over on the Michigan Mile. She's a black gal. And she's like, this is for reparations. She was with BLM. It's like, no. You're coming up with excuses now. All right. You were never a slave. You're not oppressed. You made stupid decisions in your life. That's probably why you're poor. And if you're legitimately poor for something, we have programs for that. But you don't get it doesn't make any sense that you get to go and take other people's money, basically, and get yourself free gimme that's. All right. No. That's not going to cut it. Okay. Because you'd have to think, well, what percent of Macy's on the Michigan Mile or the Miracle Mile, what percent of that is actually owned by granddaddy slave money? Right? Didn't we destroy the South when we took it over? You don't remember Sherman's March? Okay. There was the Reconstruction period. There's very little actual like modern day money. And most of the modern day population is derived from immigrants that came into the 1880s to 1910s. Most people, 5% owned slaves. I mean, you have to do some amazing accounting work to retroactively say, okay, I'm sure there's some money left over that was squirreled away from the Confederacy and maybe found its way into the S&P 500. And now today, but you're talking a very, most of pick Macy's, most of that people's money. Oh, hang on. This is going to go. Hang on. I knew it. This is what happens when fucking shit happens. This is when everybody, what are you doing at this time? You have to have a meeting. Why you guys wonder why I don't like schedules. Anyway, so most of whatever is owned on the Michigan, the wares, the stores, is owned 98% by old-time pensioners, 401k holders. Yes, there are some rich people in there, but if you look at the pie chart, most of it is it's called institutional investors. Usually that's your money. It goes from 401ks, IRAs, government pension. Hey, teachers, 457s, 403bs, huh? But to do that analysis, the quick analysis I just did there, and just say that's too much effort. That's too much work. SJW, and they don't care. Their laziness and their living the lie comes first and foremost. And they don't care who they steal from, what they steal from, how unethical it is, who they're hurting or who they're harming. Come on, look at communism. That's all this is communism. Look what communists do. They destroy countries. These people don't care. Humans are eternally lazy, and they don't bother to think about the. Come on, think it. I'm going to major in childhood theater, literature, sculpture studies. 80%. I did the research for this book, How Not to Become a Millennial. I updated the data. What percent of degrees being conferred are worthless? 80%. 80% of people will go and waste 4 years of their life, and Lord knows how much of other people's money, majoring in stupid crap. They don't care. This, again, goes beyond SJWs. SJWs just, I don't know, are especially lazy. This is why I'm like, okay, I have no problem taking advantage of people. Machiavelli was right. And not only do I have like, oh, well, they're just dumb and they don't. No. They absolutely deserve to be taken advantage of which the Democrat Party and the organization Black Lives Matter have done a brilliant job. Women's Studies Department, brilliant job taking advantage of the lazy people. Absolutely. It's not your fault your life sucks with 3 different kids from 5 different fathers you couldn't afford. It's the evil whatever, Jew, white man, corporations, whatever. It's the patriarchy. Okay. Okay, I'll give you my money for tuition and my vote. Why does my life still suck? So you credit SJWs with way too much intelligence. Because to define terms such as fallacy, projection, and inconsistent premises, that would require thought. They just want free shit, and on a very animalistic instinct, they're just going for free shit. 7, SJWs contribute good motives to SJWs and bad motives to other groups for exactly the same behavior. I don't know about that. I mean, like, okay, perfect example would be Antifa. They're anti-fascist, but their actions are completely fascist. No freedom of speech. They want to take over industry and private property. Well, that's what the Nazis, the National Socialists, Communists did. The difference between fascists and the fascists and communists are fighting. Like, why are you fighting? Why? We're going to get those fascists. We're going to get those communists. Like, you both control everything. What's wrong with you? Oh, you're slightly more free than the other guys, huh? You have the veneer of private property. You just tell everybody what to do. They tell everybody what to do, and they own all the property. What's the difference? One guy's got a funny mustache, the other guy's got a big bushy mustache, and y'all kill everybody. So I love how we're going to bash the fascists. It's like, you're fascist. You know what I mean? You don't even tolerate anyone. So, good motives. I think all they want, they'll hide their laziness behind the motive of equality and fairness. And you're never going to get a true intellectually honest person to be against equal opportunity and fair opportunity. That was a complaint of mine. And maybe if corporate America, and dare I say white people, rich white guys, boomer guys, maybe if you weren't with the buddy elite club and you actually had a fair meritocratic system for people to get hired and advance in society. I was very critical of the Republicans. Like, hey, maybe have it not be a yacht club. How about you get a little bit more blue collar Democrat? Like, be actually fair, equal opportunity for. Look, for Christ's sake, you fought a civil war to free the slaves. That was pretty fair. Why not? Fairness of opportunity is a good policy to have. Why don't you? What do you care if gays are getting married? Let it be fair. Let them go. No, we got to have our buddy club. JC. Hello, CL. Would you like to work at Wall Street? Well, suck my penis. Well, I came to bite you in the ass. And now we have, instead of just having fair opportunity and equal opportunity, now we need equal outcomes. And so that is what and it's not a motive or an ethics that the SJWs are going with there. They want equal outcomes so they don't have to work. That's it. So they think equality, that's a good motive, right? They're good. We're going for equal outcomes. When actually that's one of the most evil things, because now you're enslaving people who work for people who are lazy and don't want to work. And bad motives to other groups for exactly the same behavior. Aside from Antifa claiming that they're anti-fascist, but meanwhile they're communists, not realizing that's fascist. I don't really see that with the exact same behavior. I guess you could see other contradictions, like cops are bad, but then when they get shot or hurt or injured in whatever, a protest, they got to go call the cops. there was a riot protest going down in Minneapolis by Uptown, and I think, there's a shooting. I'm sorry, there's a shooting. And all Minneapolis hates cops. All Minneapolis, you citizens, you just, oh my God, we hate the cops. And oh my God, let's just burn more of our buildings down. How far can I spread my ass cheeks so you people can rape me? There's a guy that shot 4 people at one of the old theaters in Uptown. Gee, guess who responded? The cops. And it's like, what, so I could see their cognitive dissonance, but I don't think that's as big of a contradiction. That's at 7. I've noted that these primitive beliefs are also held by members of the mainstream media, the Ivy League universities, and the Democrat Party. Let's label it however you want. It's communist, lazy people who don't want to work. That's it. That's all this is. Don't overanalyze it. I mean, everyone wants, what do you think of politics? I don't analyze politics. I don't watch politics because it always boils that no matter where you are, throughout all of history, it's producers and parasites. There's one group of people that produce the stuff, and there's the parasites that want to steal the stuff. It could be warlords, might makes right. Then you kind of got a warlord tribal protection system of government. It could be the mafia taking things right. It could be regular street. It could be the Democrat Party. It could be the socialists of the Bolshevik Revolution. It could be the French Revolution. It could be the American people who want everything bought and paid. I don't care how many millions of pages are written in the political science departments throughout all the year in the political philosophy. It's producers and parasites. And that's all it is. I don't care if it's mainstream media, Ivy League university, Democrat. None of those people work real jobs. They want to just have easy, fluffy jobs that get paid. So I think the key word is primitive beliefs. There are primitive beliefs. It's primitive incentive. I want other people's shit for free. I don't want to work I want to conserve calories of energy. What's the quickest way to do that? Get my ass into a government job, become a teacher, become a journalist, bitch and whine we're not making enough money. Be a shakedown entity like the Democrat Party. Like, I'm going to go and get other people's money because of this thing called democracy where everyone will vote for other people's money and I'll take a percentage. I think the motives of SJWs are fairly simple. A, to gain status within the SJW community. I don't even think it's that. There's a segment that certainly say it could be half, it could be a significant segment within the SJW. Every SJW, though, just doesn't want to work. That's it. When you get to the warrior part of the SJW community, then it's to gain, then that's true. Then there is status. And I liken this to, for example, I have more respect for the guy who's just collecting a government check and plays his video games and stays the F out of politics. He just doesn't want to work. I get it. He sits on his patio, he drinks his beer, whatever. He's collecting his check. He doesn't have to work. What angers me is where you get predominantly programs or government welfare jobs created for disproportionately women to work whatever, pre-K, social work, which they've never solved a single sociological problem in their lives. And here they're collecting a government check. They're parasitic, but then that's ego employment. Like, I'm helping the world. I'm such a good person. It's like, no, deep down inside, you're lazy. That's why you majored in social work. You didn't want to work hard, right? But you're such an egotistical bastard that you can't just sit and collect a government check humbly and quietly like the guy over there. No, you got to get in everybody's nagging harpy and lecture everybody else about how we got to run the world. We got to run. Oh my God. These busybodies, these busybody Nazis. And that's what they are. You need, not only are you taking my money, now I got to give you a job where you're going to have some kind of quasi bogus authority or insight into how the world or morality and ethics of the country. Shut up. Just shut up. And the warrior part, I did a whole series on called Crusaderism. Look it up. It predicted SJ. Now I call them Crusaderists, but SJW is the same thing. That came about 10 years later, maybe 5. It's the ego. Come on, look at all of them going out there and they got their flag. And this guy here, the Nina man, he's on the cover. Matthew Bonta, 23, is charged with obstructing an officer and 2 counts of felony bail jumping. Girl complains known to be a violent Antifa member who cites violent. Was this was the guy? Okay, a responding officer says he saw 4 individuals walking towards a protest with baseball bats. One man was wearing a metal helmet with goggles and military-style gear with multiple pouches, was carrying an Antifa flag. When the officer pulled his squad car in front of the group, they ran away. The officer caught Bonta, who was carrying the flag, and says Bonta dropped into the fetal position and began crying. And you just look at him. This is not a man who wants to work for a living. You could just tell that. But what is a lazy man supposed to do? This gets to the ego part, the W, the warrior part. They have to be doing something. You can't just collect a government check. You have to be doing something. You have to have some kind of agency. Instead of getting off your ass, becoming a programmer or an engineer, or hell, you know what? Just the best damn barista there was, or the best damn waiter there was, having some pride, the best janitor there was, the best car washer there was. No, that's not good. They're too good for that. They got to go, how many times have you heard this? Change the world, change lives, save the children, right? It has nothing to do with anything that noble or moral or just. These are egomaniacs, okay? Again, how many just want a free check? All of them. How many want a free check and to think they're heroic and they're going to go down in history? About half, maybe. Half. So yes, for some of us to gain status within the SJW community. And you've seen that with the disadvantaged Olympics. Well, I'm a different skin color. Oh, okay, you get a point. Well, I'm female. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm disadvantaged female, but was formerly female, known as the artist of Prince. And now I'm a quadriplegic sexual. Oh, now I'm in a wheel. Oh, okay. You have 5 points. Oh my God, you're amazing. And notice none of those take any work because when you were born that way, or you just decided that day. You're the idea. And every great once in a while, you'll find an engineer within the SJW community, but it's incredibly rare. It's incredibly rare. Absent of actually achieving any kind of thing of value or accomplishment in life, these people come up with traits. This is why I emphasize so much on traits. People who point out their traits. Oh my gosh, I'm this color and I'm this type of woman. I suck this type of dick. Oh, look at me. I'm so, it's like, no, you didn't do anything in your life. And when you look at that guy, Matthew Banta, he's never done anything. He's never done a pull-up. And then when all of a sudden, like, shit gets real, there's a cop, he gets in a fetal position and cries because he's never had any challenge in his life. To satisfy the need for connection and solidarity with others to belong to a community. I don't know. I think they're all out to serve themselves. This is why communists kill each other. That's why Stalin went with the purges. I will admit, I feel bad for a lot of them. They don't have stable family upbringings. Their dads are certainly not around. If their dads were around, their dads were certainly not participatory, let alone masculine. Yeah, these kids, I do, and I'm not offering a knowledge branch. I'm just saying, how many of these kids do you think actually had a stable mom and dad around versus were raised by teachers because their parents kicked them off to school, didn't want to invest in them, didn't take care of their education? And this is, you want to see what happens when teachers in the state raise children, you get SJWs, you know? And you can even say, well, they might have had a nuclear. Yeah, but the dad was around. You need dads. You really do. So I wouldn't doubt if they're looking to belong to a community. See, to have a sense of purpose and meaning in an apparently meaningless world. Yes, as long as it takes no work. As long as it takes no work. That's the key thing. They want their cake and to eat it too. This is the world of lies. They want to believe they're amazing, accomplished people. Have you ever noticed how a lot of women batter around the words brave, amazing, and wonderful, and courageous and brave? And you're like, dude, you just got up and had coffee and had your nails done. You're not brave, courageous, amazing. You're not evil, but you're, you know who's brave, courageous, amazing, and all that? That would be called Audie Murphy. He was brave, courageous, and amazing. You are not brave, courageous, but it's living that ultimate lie. And they do. Yeah, you can't get by in life without purpose and meaning. But to have real purpose and meaning, you got to work at it. You got to do something for society, something people willingly throw money at. To be perfectly honest, you guys may not like them, but I'm cheering them on because I think it's an economic phenomenon. It's hilarious, fascinating to study. Are the fan girl, the fan OnlyFans, or other such sites? They're actually providing something that people want, men predominantly. Here, yeah. And men show it by giving their time, not their money. Money doesn't exist. There's only time that you've converted into the exchange of money or to the physical form of money. And they give those girls their money. I wouldn't be throwing that much money. I mean, these gals make a lot of money. But at least those gals have point, purpose, and agency. You may find prostitution. I like to call them ladies of the evening. You may shame-seeking arrangement. You may disparage gals on the internet showing their boobies for money, or webcam girls. Private transaction. They're delivering what men want, or at least a market wants. No harm, no foul. They have more purpose. They're doing more to advance society. At least to put a smile on a guy's face for a little bit anyway, I guess. But let's look at this again. To be in shape and a pretty girl, especially today, takes effort, takes a lot of work. Got to go out to the gym, got to diet. You may all look at all those thoughts. Well, they're working hard at one thing at least. So there is a sense of purpose and meaning in life. The SJW, oh God, no. I mean, look at this Matthew Banna guy. He doesn't go to the gym. He doesn't do math. You could just see softness within that guy. And it's, who knows where his dad is. Not around, I'll guarantee you. Not around, if around, not participating. So yes, they go with fake purpose and meaning. No different than a person who eats sugary, fat foods because their lives are miserable. Someone who drinks, guilty is included, because there's nothing else going on in life. It's just this. It's a Oxycontin hit or a serotonin hit. I'm brave. That's the peak of his day, was running with that flag, wearing, quote, a uniform. He belonged to something. And who cares if the total point and purpose of that movement was parasitism and theft and stealing other people's money? Hey, all the circumstances and all the environment around him gave him the indication that he was part of the 300 at Sparta fighting off the Persians. Or I'm sorry, Thermopylae. Spartans. To experience the thrill of violence, vandalism, and malicious mischief, the violent dice. Yeah, there's that violence gene within everyone. And let's also not forget that they're eternally jealous. They're eternally envious. Just green with envy. And they hate the fact that other people have the ability to tolerate the pain of toil, of labor, and to work hard and make sacrifice. That they go to the gym, that they push up the way. Oh God, it's a pain in the ass. I understand why Antifa people predominantly don't want to work out. I get it. It sucks, but you do it anyway. It's called sacrifice, it's called selflessness. But they just don't have the ethic, the work ethic. They fear, guys, the crippling level of fear of work and toil is the number one determinant in their lives. And then when they see someone who's better, which is in practically every guy, I'm not even talking rich, I'm not even talking morally, just as superior to them in some other kind of way. They're better looking, they're faster, they're more athletic, better hygiene, stronger, or they make more money. Very in a Harrison Bergeron-like way, they got to take everyone down. They cannot be reminded of their laziness, not their inferiority. It's their choice. I guarantee you, because we go back 3 generations, people got their shit together. If they worked out, they'd be fine. They'd be functional, productive members of society. Right? But they're just too afraid of work and labor. And so they can't be reminded. Oh, you want to know why women hate, young women particularly, hate beautiful women? Because it reminds these other women that it is possible to set the bleeping ho-hos down and hit the gym. And the amazing amount of hate, this goes beyond SJW. This is just like most women in general, especially younger, I'd say, how they hate on women who stay thin. Oh, what? When Adele lost all that weight? Oh, wow, sister, you're making us look bad. Stop reminding us that we're fat and lazy. And so a lot of the hate and some of that will convert into violence and hatred, because how dare, in the short bleep of this person's existence in life, do you dare remind them that they're lazy, ugly, practically in practice inferior? They could be fine. They could be even superior in some regard. You'll never know. They'll never try. They're just going to waste their lives never trying. You remind them that they're wasting their life. That's what it is. And they can't stand that. And so I absolutely can see why they have the thrill of violence of that. Yeah, they get a hit. Oh yeah, they'll get a serotonin hit. Consider the following thought experience. SJWs are rioting in Las Vegas. The mayor of Las Vegas promises that he will grant any demand and pay any price, no matter how exorbitant, to the SJWs, if they will simply promise to cease the violence and never riot again. Question: do you think the SJWs would give up the violent delights and honor their promise, never riot again, in exchange for the mayor of Las Vegas submitting to all the demands? No. You could give the black community reparations, they'll still demand more. And what are they going to do? See, I always like to point this out. World War II, we won. And then it was over, and then we went home. Contrast that with feminist women's studies majors. You get equality. Okay, our job here is done. Let's go back to our own respective lives. No, they made it their career. They made it their point and purpose in life. So now you have intersectionality and all these warped, granular, worthless sub-studies within a bogus study to begin with, which is women's studies. Yes, now it's gender studies. You mistake that their goal is something as noble as equality or fair outcomes or fair opportunity. It's not, they will keep going because they don't want to work. It's producer's parasite. Laziness determines all. I've just explained all of politics to you. Question: do you think the violent delights of the SJWs will evolve to violent ends, the rise of murderous gangs like Weatherman, the Bader Meinhof gang, or the Red Brennan gang? Yeah, I mean, it's happening now. It's some of them are. I mean, there's got to be a couple million of them out there that have these tendencies, at least. Whether they're going to start killing people, they're rioting and protesting already. So sure, yeah, that's going to happen. I mean, it's always happened. People riot and protest, sometimes legitimately, because, you don't want to be a slave. Ben-Hur. It sucks. Fuck this shit. Question: do you think the election of Democrat Joe Biden as president will result in an explosion of violence in the country sanctioned by the political establishment, similar to the violence that followed the election of Lyndon Johnson as president? This may sound strange, but it actually happened in the 60s. Yeah, I don't think a Democrat getting elected gives the green light. I think these people are going to protest no matter what. But whoever's in office, I don't really think it's going to matter. Biden getting elected, it's neither going to satiate them nor incite them to violence. It's really more of a function of, I'd say, 2 generations long, maybe even 3, how we've indoctrinated 2 generations, 2.5, to have this entitlement mentality, this helplessness, this patheticness, and this anger and rage and jealousy. That's what I think is driving it. It doesn't matter who's president. By the 1970s, the violent leftist gangs died out and faded away. Yeah, they got old. Some went to jail. Inevitably, you have to eat too. Evangelical Christianity, known as at the time as the Jesus movement. Yeah, I remember the 700 Club. Jeez, I had to watch that crap. I didn't have to, but it was on. And celebrated in the culture by Broadway musical like Jesus Christ Superstar, pop music like Spirit in the Sky, came to the forefront of the zeitgeist and moved the Overton window away from the gangs. Do you think the SJWs are facing the same fate? No, I don't know where. I would disagree that there was that much movement towards Christianity. There was certainly the religious right that was there, but I remember I didn't see that in school. I was in school in the 70s and 80s. I didn't see that. And it's nowhere near as they didn't have corporations like, oh my gosh, McDonald's supports Jesus. Now you're, oh my gosh, McDonald's supports Black Lives Matter. Are they going to face the same fate? No, they're going to face a different one, but it'll be roughly the same fate. And that'll be a wasted life because they fear work. That's it. That's all it is. That's their wasted fate. Or the wasted life. That's their fate. All these feminist women are not going to find love. And if they do find quote unquote love, they're certainly not going to nurture it or, commit themselves to the husband or children. Husband to get divorced, children outsourced to school, career, you go girlism. We even had that doesn't matter. I found another bit of evidence, where it's like, okay, here's 2 more data points where, yeah, you gals are obviously brainwashed, and love and selflessness and altruism you're not capable of it. And the SJWs, yeah, the best outcome for the SJWs is they get communism. I don't know if you know how that works out. It maybe lasts a little bit as you eat through all the capital an economy has. And then when there's nothing being produced, everyone starves. And then these guys try and fight and lobby for. Just watch how look at how the Soviets, starting with Lenin all the way up to Gorbachev, how they kind of jockeyed for position. Man, a lot of people get killed. Everyone wants to be a leader. No one wants to be a worker in the field. Everyone wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be a brave. Everyone wants to be a general. No one wants to be a private. And these SJWs, egos, they think they're going to sit on some committee of fairness and justice and inclusion or some other BS like that. But no one's going to work. No one's going to put drill cavities and be a dentist. No one's going to be a laborer. No one's going to field the farms. They're all going to be generals with shiny medals. Hey, you ever see that North Korean? Like all the generals got all that medals. That's what I'm talking about. Those are shiny medals. Where's the food? And they'll die. And that'll be it. All right. I know I got super chats. I do not have time to go through them. I will do a Miss Super Chats later on today. I got to go meet up with the Rule Zero gang here. So I'll see you guys later. Toodles.